Welcome to today's episode. We're going to take a quick look at a story that's both haunting and strangely hopeful. The story of Jacob, the gas station heist, and how trauma and friendship intersect.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. The narrative of Jacob is one that's stuck with me for years, partly because it's about so much more than just a heist or some bad decisions.
Absolutely. Let's set the scene for our listeners. It's 2008, and you're hanging out with Jacob after school, spending time together, eating gummy worms and washing them down with Mountain Dew. But all the while, you're just a bit on the outside, standing in the shadows, watching and listening.
Exactly. That year, Jacob became something of a legend in my mind. He was the one who'd put in the hard work, those fabled 10,000 hours. In some way, he's almost the reason I got out of my own basement. Spending time with him, seeing his struggles and hearing his stories, forced me to take a hard look at myself.
But then things took a turn for Jacob, right? Things started to go dark. Can you talk about that?
It got heavy. There was the gas station heist itself, a piece of our history that spun everyone's reality upside down. But there were also those rumors. People said Jacob was planning something terrible, a school shooting. To this day, I know that wasn't true. The real story was so much more ordinary, almost tragically so. It was about stealing beef jerky. The beef jerky was so expensive, it turned what might have been a minor incident into a felony. And that's how he ended up in prison for 3 years.
That's such a harsh twist for something that seems, on the surface, almost trivial. But it sounds like the trauma didn't end there for either of you.
No, it really didn't. There's this idea that trauma buries you, or you bury yourself with it. I remember feeling like I wasn't just living through my own pain, but carrying Jacob's as well. We were both held captive in a way. He lost his dad around the time of his arrest, and people whispered that it was Jacob's fault. That guilt and grief stayed with him, and with me too.
And yet you talk about resilience, about how the lesson of Jacob shaped who you are. What did you take from all this?
That's the part that still gives me hope. If Jacob and I can find peace with all the things we went through, maybe that's a path to healing the world, or at least our small piece of it. My drive to clear his name came from wanting to set the story straight, not just for him, but for myself. What happened to Jacob didn't define his soul, or mine. We both just kept moving forward, haunted, threatened by rumors and pain, but always seeking some kind of redemption.
That's powerful. It's a reminder that even the darkest stories have the power to teach us about compassion, forgiveness, and the stubborn hope that things can get better. Thank you so much for sharing this and for helping us understand the real heart behind Jacob's story.
Thank you. I guess in the end, we're all just looking for that whistle, the thing that unburdens our souls and reminds us that we're not alone.
And that, I think, is a story worth remembering. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time.